A very warm good evening to those who have joined the session. I welcome you all to Civil Services Achievers Point. I hope your preparation is going good. Today it's again a very important session for all of us. I hope you have already started with your MCQs and test series, and you have been doing a lot of practice with the MCQs for upcoming prelims exam. Today we are going to start with the Indian security and the defense topic, from which we can expect at least 2 questions from today's session. All right, so I hope you will go through it well, okay, and also practice the PDF materials, and along with it you also need to be very thorough with the current affairs, all right, of this particular topic. We will also discuss all the important bilateral exercise, military, navy, air force exercise of India with other countries, and at the same time we also need to be very thorough with the important missiles and which are indigenously developed by India. In another class, we will be talking about the satellites and the space missions, which is again a very important topic. Then next class, we'll be talking about the important days and all the international days, important national days, at the same time the Assam state days. All right. So these topics will be covered within this particular week, and which is very important. Then next we'll be talking about the Planning Commission of India, because APSC have been asking a lot of questions from the 5-year plans. So though now the 5-year plans, you know that it has been like abolished, the Planning Commission has been abolished and it has been discontinued, and we have Niti Aayog in its place, but still we can't predict. APSC might ask another 1 or 2 questions in the upcoming prelims from the 5-year plan, so we will have to do it. All right, we can't skip that particular topic. And apart from that, after that we'll move on with the awards and different awards given in the last 2 years, both in Assam and also at the national level, which will be again a very important part. All right, then we will also do some science and technology, which is very important part again from prelims perspective. So we will cover one by one all the topics, so nothing to worry. You know that the exam date has been already launched and it is on 12th of September. So let's hope our preparation is going good, and definitely we all will do good in the upcoming exam. So without wasting much time, let's now begin with today's session. I have already shared the screen with all of you. I hope you can hear my voice and you are able to see the screen clear enough for you to understand, right? So today we'll be talking about Indian security and the defense system, which is an important topic for any kind of government exams that you give. Okay, and we have a lot of exciting courses in our application, both available in Apple iStore and Playstore. So you can all download our app, and if you have not downloaded yet, and you can go through the store section to subscribe to any of the courses. And please do subscribe to this prelims capsule course in the application for all the PDF materials, test series, along with past years solved question papers of 25 years of UPSC and APSC. So this is the 30 days score prelims booster course. We have already been going through it, okay, and I promised to cover at least 1,000 pointers, and we have already covered more than 200 pointers in this section of course series. So the Indian defense operation after independence is a very important topic for any kind of government exams that you appear, whether it is any exam under UPSC or APSC or any department exams or conducted by any of the government. So you need to be very thorough with this particular details, which we are going to cover in today's class session. I will try to keep it short, within 1 hour to 1.5 hours. Okay, we will try to complete it up. Is my voice not continuous? Like someone has commented, put a comment in the comment section about voice is not continuous. Is it not continuous? Is there any break in my voice? Can someone please comment? It should be clear enough, right? Is it not clear enough? Please try to comment. Please try to comment in the comment section whether my voice is good enough for you to understand or not. You can just comment in the comment section if my voice is clear enough. All right, thank you. So it can be a internet issue at the individual level. Okay, please tell us about CSAT. First of all, CSAT spelling is wrong. It is CSAT. Please try to go through the CSAT videos that we have already. It's already available in our application. Okay, if time permits, definitely. Okay, on your request, I will definitely come out with a CSAT strategy. Okay, very soon, within 1 week's time period, I will come out with a CSAT strategy discussion. Okay, thank you so much for your comments. Let us now move ahead with today's class. So 1948, you know, a very famous Operation Polo. Okay, now this is an important part. We all need to be very thorough with these operations. You can easily get a question in the prelims exam. So Operation Polo is related to our, you know that after independence we had to go through a lot of state reorganization, and which was mainly looked after by Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, the Iron Man of India, on whose name also we have the Statue of Unity now in Gujarat. So you should be thorough with this. Now, Operation Polo is related with Hyderabad coming and joining India. Okay, so Indian Armed Forces ended the rule of the Nizam of Hyderabad and led to the incorporation of the princely state of Hyderabad in southern India into the Indian Union. So please try to remember Operation Polo and Hyderabad. And these operations are actually important from a chronological perspective also. Okay, so please try to see that which operation was held earlier and then which one was held later on. So you might be asked with a question in the chronological order. So please try to maintain the years and try to retain just 1 or 2 revision will do your job. Okay, after that we have the 1962 to 1967. We all know during the Chinese India war. Okay, and this was on the border between China and Kingdom of Sikkim, and Chinese offensives on Nathula and Chola repelled. Okay, so these are the passes which are available in Sikkim, Nathula and Chola, and this was the time period when India and Chinese war took place. And after that, there is one more that is in between, that is in 1961, Operation Vijay. Okay, and this was for the military of India that led to incorporation of Goa, Daman, Diu into India from the Portuguese power. Okay, so this is 1961. So this is very important. At the same time, there was also a war on 1971, the Indo-Pakistan war. Okay, and the Bangladesh liberation took place. So that you can know about. And after that, in 1971, we have one Operation Steeplechase. Okay, and this was a combined operation against the Naxalites. All right, so please try to be very thorough with this. Okay, so please try to be very thorough with this. This can be asked in the chronological order in the APSC upcoming exam. At the same time, in 1973, you know that Sikkim was put under the Sikkim joined India as a state of India, and this amalgamation of Sikkim took place in 1973. Okay, I will also, since Assam Mizoram border clash is going on, I will also try to bring out one class on the reorganization of the states of northeastern India. Okay, so that is also very, very important for all of us to know. I will definitely try to bring a class on it. Okay, so let's move ahead with this basic information. Then in 1984 we have Operation Blue Star, and this was for Punjab, the Khalistan movement. Okay, so you please try to be thorough with this, just the names. Okay, and it was related with which particular state or particular place, that is sufficient, and the years. Okay, and then in 1984 we have Operation Meghdoot. Okay, so these names are very important from exam perspective. These are quite often seen being asked in the exam. Okay, and this India's military capture of the majority of Siachen Glacier, and Siachen Glacier is a very important place for India. All right, it is at a tri-junction of between India, Pakistan, and China. So it is also one of the topmost battleground in the entire world. So this Siachen Glacier and Operation Meghdoot in 1984 becomes really important again from exam perspective. Then again in 1984 we have the Operation Udros, okay, and this is for the Punjab. This is related to Operation Blue Star, okay, to prevent the outbreak of widespread public protest in the state of Punjab. Okay, so yeah, Operation Blue Star and Operation Udros both for the Punjab. So please try to remember this with Punjab. In 1984 we also have a mission of Meghdoot, that is Operation Meghdoot. Majority of Siachen Glacier was took over. Then we have 1987, okay, Operation Pawan, and this is for Sri Lanka for the LTTE movement. Okay, we know about this during the time period of Rajiv Gandhi's rule as a prime minister. So this becomes really important. And then again in 1987 we have Operation Bluebird, okay, for Manipur, Indian retaliation operation to the 1987 attacks on Assam Rifles outpost. So this was the Manipuri movement. So it's known as Operation Bluebird. Then we have Operation Virat. Okay, this is again for Sri Lanka, but in 1988. So Operation Pawan and Operation Virat are related to the LTTE movement, Sri Lanka. You don't have to go into details. Okay, only knowing the operation names and its relation to which of the particular movement and the year. Okay, and the date and the year. This should be sufficient for you to crack at least 2 questions in the upcoming prelims exam. All right. So after that we have Operation Checkmate. Okay, this is all related to Sri Lanka LTTE movement. All right. Then we have one Operation Cactus, which is related to Maldives, and this is para commanders of Indian Army and Marcos of Indian Navy outs Tamil nationalist mercenaries of Plot who instigated a coup in Bali, which is the capital of Maldives. Okay, so Operation Cactus is related to Maldives. Then very famous, we all know, Operation Vijay, related to our Kargil war in 1999. Okay, so Operation Vijay, we all know its name, which is related to the Kargil war. Then 2008 we have the Operation Black Tornado, and this is the Operation Cyclone for the Mumbai Maharashtra Mumbai terror attack. We all know this, we have seen this right in our life. I think we all have seen from Operation Vijay or Kargil, or maybe some of you might have also seen Operation Checkmate and Operation Maldives. But you should be very thorough with Operation Black Tornado, Operation Cyclone, okay, for the Mumbai terror attack. Then in 2015 we have Operation All Out. Okay, very important and very famous for flushing out militants from the specially Kashmir region of Jammu and Kashmir state of India. Now it has become a union territory, okay, after the revocation of Article 370. Then in 2015 we have one India counter-insurgency operation in Myanmar. You must be very thorough about the surgical strikes, okay, in 2015. And Indian Army allegedly conducted hot pursuit of Naga terror outfit NSC and Khaplang along the Indian-Myanmar border. We have Operation Maitri, okay, which is related to Nepal, and India's Army led rescue and relief mission. I think you all remember about the Nepal earthquake, and it was the Operation Maitri for the rescue. Then in 2016 we have India-Pakistan military confrontation, okay, and this is not very important, but you can just look at it. After that we have the Operation Sahyog, okay, this is for Kerala, and Indian Army launched Operation Sahyog to rescue people in flood-hit Kerala. All right, Indian Army has deployed its men and machinery into the disaster relief and rescue operation at Kannur, Kozhikode, Wayanad, Idukki after incessant rain. So Operation Sahyog. All right. And then we will go into the ongoing defense operation. There was one more operation, I'm not able to recollect right now, but I think that was in the state of Yemen and Oman, okay, for the rescue of Indians from it. Okay, so please try to find out that particular operation too at the same time. So these operations are very, very important. At least one question you may expect, one question you may get in the exam. Operation starting from Operation Polo, Hyderabad. Okay, then Operation Vijay for Goa, Daman, Diu, and Dadra Nagar Haveli. Okay, sorry, Goa and Daman and Diu. Then 1973 amalgamation of Sikkim, and 1971 Operation Steeplechase for the Naxalites. Operation Blue Star and Operation Udros for Punjab, Operation Meghdoot for Siachen Glacier, Operation Pawan, Operation Virat, okay, then you have Operation Checkmate. All these are related, 3 are related to your Pawan, Virat and Checkmate, all 3 related to LTTE movement in Sri Lanka. Operation Blue Star for Manipur, Then Operation Vijay, Kargil, you all know this. Operation Cactus for Maldives. Operation Black Tornado and Operation Cyclone for Mumbai Trivatek. Operation All Out for Kashmir region. Then you have the Operation Maitri in Nepal and Operation Sahyog in Kerala. All right. So with that, we are moving ahead to the next particular topic, that is Operation Rakshak. All right. And this was in Economic Times of 22nd July 2021. Okay. Yes, Operation Rahat. Very good, Shreya. That was Operation Rahat. Okay, for Yemen. That is very important, and you should remember about the Operation Rahat. All right, thank you so much. Next is Operation Rakshak, and this was very much recently in news on 22nd July 2021. 753 army personnel martyred in Operation Rakshak during 8 years in Jammu and Kashmir. Okay, so you see here, Operation Rakshak is an ongoing counter-insurgency and counter-terrorism operation started during the height of insurgency in J&K in June 1990. So Operation Rakshak is also related to a J&K. At the same time, we saw this very important Operation All Out in 2015, again related to your Kashmir region. So please don't forget this, okay? And the operation adapted itself from being merely a show of strength in 1990 to encompassing more areas in 1991, such as orders not to enter the house of civilians. So you can just go through, but this Operation Rakshak becomes very important, okay, till from between 2007 to 2015. Okay, and Operation All Out is mainly during the 2015 Kashmir area. All right. So next, Operation All Out, again you can see this. It is a joint offensive launched by Indian security forces to flush out militants and terrorists in Kashmir again. Okay, and Operation All Out includes the Indian Army, CRPF. So it is related to the Kashmir area to wipe out the terrorism outfits present there. And this operation was initiated with the consent of Ministry of Home Affairs. All these operations mainly are released with the consent of Ministry of Home Affairs. And objectives of Operation All Out is to eliminate militants from J&K, for maintenance of peace and security in that area, avoid fear from the people of mines who are living in J&K, and discourage local youth to join as a militant or a terrorist outfit. So Operation All Out and Operation Rakshak are very important from J&K perspective. All right, then we have again one more Operation Calm Down, and this was started by Indian Army in J&K, okay, after the death of Burhan Wani in July 2016, which had led to the unrest in Kashmir area. Okay, so again, Operation Calm Down is also related to our J&K. So please try to give a look at it. All right, then we have Operation Insaniyat. Okay, again, a very, very important one. And this is for Operation Insaniyat to provide assistance to Bangladesh in response to humanitarian crisis being faced with the influx of Rohingya refugees from Myanmar. So Insaniyat is related to your Rohingya crisis in Bangladesh and India. And under this operation, India will provide relief material consisting of items. Okay, so India will be providing the relief materials. So please try to look at it. And why this crisis happened, we all know. Rohingyas are also known as what? Rohingyas are also known as the boat people. Okay, they are also known as the boat people. So this is very important for you to understand. They have been moved out from the Rakhine province, okay, which is mainly a part of your Myanmar. So they have been pushed out of the Rakhine province by the Myanmar, okay, and then they have been roaming around in a lot of islands and staying in the boats. Okay, you can see this very pathetic pictures, and this is the Rakhine state which is shown in this particular map. Okay, a part of Myanmar, and more than 6,88,000 Rohingyas have fled persecution, okay, because they were being killed, and they have moved out of it. And they have, in my first class of mapping, I had also talked about a Bhasan Char. Okay, Bhasan Char is an area. Okay, Bhasan Char is an area which is located at Bangladesh. Okay, and this is an island where maximum Rohingyas have taken their shelter. All right. And Bhasan Char, which means floating island. Okay, floating island, new home to Rohingya. So since this is in news, you should be all clear with the Bhasan Char. It means floating island. So simple question can come: which of the following is known as floating island? So do not mark the your Loktak Lake, okay, or the national park in Manipur, Kebul Lamjau National Park. Okay, but the floating island is also related to your Bhasan Char. Okay, so please see the options carefully, which is the new home for Rohingyas. And India has launched this Operation Insaniyat, so it becomes really important from your exam perspective. Okay, and Arakan is the name of the mountains present in Myanmar. Okay, Irrawaddy river flows through it, and this is what you need to know from this particular topic. Next, moving ahead, Operation Namaste. And this is the Indian Army has code named its anti-COVID campaign. So this is of a movement of Indian Army. Okay, don't get confused. They might give in the option as Air Force, Navy, or Indian government. Okay, but this is a movement by Indian Army. It is for the anti-COVID campaign as Operation Namaste to help the government in its fight against the pandemic. Soldiers are advised to follow the lockdown. Okay, wherever they do not have any operational role and stay fit. They are assured that their families will be well taken care of. Alright, so under this, leave extension and everything has been looked after, and quarantine facilities have been also looked after. Okay, so Operation Namaste, please try to relate with Indian Army and anti-COVID-19 campaign. Okay, so I hope you are thorough with this. Next, moving ahead to the missile development in India. Okay, some of the operations we have looked after. See, now there can be a few more operations, but again, from exam perspective, you can skip some. So we have tried to consolidate the important ones. Okay, in the last 2-3 years, whatever has been in news, I have tried to put it in the slides. So please try to be very comfortable with these operations. You can definitely expect a question from these particular operations like Operation Namaste, Operation Insaniyat, Operation Rahat, okay, then Operation Calm Down, Operation All Out, Operation Rakshak. Okay, these are very, very important and recent operations. All right, Operation Sahyog and so on. Operation Rahat also we discussed. Operation Maitri, the Nepal earthquake. Okay, Operation Black Tornadoes or Cyclone Characters. So these are very, very important and the recent ones. And you need to be very thorough with this. One question can definitely come from this particular discussion. Moving ahead with the Integrated Guided Missile Development Plan. Okay, and which was our missile development plan. It was conceived by whom? It can be a very direct question in APSC Prelims. It was developed by Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, the ex-president of India, and it was to enable India to attain self-sufficiency in field of missile technology. It was approved by Government of India in 1983 and completed in March 2012. Okay, because under this there are 5 missiles which need to be developed, and this can be very well abbreviated as Patna. Okay, it is the capital of Bihar. Patna, P means Prithvi, okay, then A means ballistic missiles, all right, that is the Agni, T means Trishul, okay, N means Nag, and Akas means, A means Akas, okay, so you need to be very thorough with this, so we will go one by one into with all the details, all right, and we need to be very, very thorough with this particular missiles, because in the upcoming exams we are seeing a many number of questions from this particular topic. Okay, so we will look at it one by one. So let's now move ahead. Let's now move ahead with one by one some of the missiles developed under our Integrated Guided Missile Development Program, that is your IGDMP. All right. So the first one is, okay, before that, let us now first look at the types of missiles. Okay, we have different types of missiles. One is the cruise missile and the other one is a ballistic missile. So what do you mean by a cruise missile? It is an unmanned, okay, so there is no human being in the missile. It is an unmanned self-propelled guided vehicle that sustains flight through aerodynamic lift for most of its flight path. Okay, so cruise means, you understand what is a cruise. Cruise means you just drive your car in a cruise mode without like without a particular trajectory or without a particular path, wherever you want to go. Okay, and on the other hand, ballistic missile, it has a ballistic trajectory over most of its flight path, regardless of whether or not it is a weapon delivery vehicle. Okay, so that is a basic difference between the cruise and the ballistic. But under cruise we have different types of sub-cruise missiles. For example, subsonic cruise missile, supersonic cruise missile, and hypersonic cruise missile. So subsonic cruise missile talks about flies at a speed lesser than that of a sound. Okay, so that is why it is a subsonic, and sonic comes from the speed of the sound. Okay, and it travels at around 0.8 Mach. Okay, that is why it is traveling at a lesser speed. And supersonic, it travels at a speed of around 2-3 Mach. Okay, the combination of supersonic speed and warhead mass provides high kinetic. And hypersonic cruise missile is traveling at a speed more than 5 Mach. It is a very, very high, faster speed. All right. So many countries are working to develop hypersonic cruise missiles. So we'll look at it one by one in details. Now let's move ahead to the first missile program under your IGMP and IGMDP, and that is first is your Agni. Okay, now it is an intercontinental ballistic missile. Okay, and it is surface to surface. Now this is how the questions are coming. Okay, APSC has asked a question on Akash, and they have simply asked whether it is surface to surface or whether it is air to surface or surface to air. All right, now surface to surface means from the ground it will be released and then it will fall again on the ground. Okay, that is another on the surface of another country. So it is, that is why we call it a surface to surface. All right, so Agni is the surface to surface intercontinental. That means from one continent to another continent it can be sent, and that is why you can see the range of these missiles are very high. Okay, Agni 1 was a single stage engine powered by solid fuel. Okay, and it is a short range ballistic missile. All right, it is a short range ballistic missile, Agni 1. Obviously, as per its development and evolution, it has evolved in a more stronger missile in terms of developing as an intercontinental ballistic missile. And you can see here that Agni 1 was hardly 700 kilometer, but Agni 5 now it can reach to 5,000 kilometer distant area, and that is why it is also an intercontinental ballistic missile. Okay, at present you can see US, China, Russia, UK, France and Israel are known to have ICBMs along with India. Okay, so India is there, like only 6 countries except India is having this intercontinental ballistic missiles, and India is also having this ICBM. It is equipped with very high accuracy and ring laser gyro based inertial navigation system. Okay, because it has to have a important navigation system in order to reach the accurate position where it has been deployed, and also a micro navigation system, that is a means. So rings and means. Okay, so rings, sometimes you can even get a full form of this particular topics. India has reportedly also been working on multiple independently targetable re-entry vehicles. Now this is a very, very important development. Okay, it means that once you the launch vehicles, once you launch the missile, okay, and then again you can bring back the launch vehicle, and again you can put the warhead there, okay, and then again send it. Okay, now this is a MIRV technology, that is multiple independently targetable re-entry vehicle, and for the Agni 5 it has been developed in order to ensure a credible second strike capability or credible minimum deterrence. MIRV means one missile can carry several warheads, each for different targets. Okay, so under this the re-entry is also allowed, and at the same time when we talk about a multiple thing, okay, so one missile taking multiple warheads, and at the same time you can talk about like different warheads going at different locations. All right, so this is what it also means about MIRV technology. So this is a very, very important one, and Agni 5 is having this capacity. Okay, also a second strike capability or credible minimum deterrence is available in this particular Agni 5 missile technology. If you look at the stages and fuel, okay, so Agni 1 is having the single stage engine, but Agni 2 is having the 2-stage solid propellant engine. Okay, so these are all solid propellant engine, and because again you can see that the coverage has been increased, so definitely we'll need more and more engine capacity. Agni 3 is also a 2-stage. It is an intermediate range ballistic missile, and it is having a 3,000 kilometer range. Agni 4 is having a 4,000 kilometer range, again a 2-stage, but Agni 5 is powered by 3-stage propellant engine solid, okay, capacity. So, and that is why its range is also very, very high, which is of around 5,000 kilometer. All right, so this is what we need to discuss about the Agni missile. So I hope you have understood, and this is a very important part. You need to remember that Agni is surface to surface. All right, it is a very, very important one, and it has been developed. If we ask who has developed the Agni 5, okay, Agni 5 has been developed by DRDO. Okay, it is used as a strategic force command or strategic nuclear command of Indian Army. Okay, so DRDO has also worked on it along with Bharat Dynamic Limited. Okay, so please try to remember about the Bharat Dynamic Limited, which is also has manufactured Agni 5 for India. Okay, and it can carry the nuclear warheads of at least of around 1500 kilograms. Okay, 1500 kg. So very high nuclear warheads can be carried by the Agni. Okay, and this is something like which can act as a deterrent for many of the other nuclear power countries. All right, so let's move ahead. with a recent one, a recent development that is again a very, very important one. Okay, and but before that, let us first talk about the Agni Prime, or which is also in short known as Agni P, and it is a new generation advanced variant of the Agni class under IGMDP itself. Okay, so don't get confused that this is also under integrated guided missile development program, and it is a canisterized missile with range capability between 1000 to 2000 kilometer. Okay, its range is short, all right, but it reduces the time, okay, because of the canisterization of missiles. So it reduces the time and required to launch the missile while improving its storage and mobility. Okay, so it is more faster. Okay, so many advanced technologies including composites, propulsion systems, all these technologies and the state-of-the-art navigation systems have been introduced, and this would further strengthen India's credible deterrence capabilities. In comparison to other Agni class missiles, Agni P has improved parameters including maneuvering and accuracy. So this is more in terms of efficiency and efficacy. This is higher. Okay, this is improved and improved version, but its range is shorter. So don't get confused. Okay, it has not more than 2000 kilometer range. Okay, and this range is too short to reach targets in China's mainland, but can cover all of Pakistan's territory at least. Being a canistered missile, it can be transported easily and fired at very short notice. So this mobility wise, this is required, and this is very important, and it will replace the Prithvi, Agni 1 and Agni 2 missiles in India's arsenal that were built 2 decades ago with tech now considered obsolete. So mainly it is to replace what the Prithvi missile and at the same time Agni 1 and 2. So please try to see this. Sometimes in statement based questions, okay, so sometimes in statement based questions it can easily give the details about that Agni Prime will replace which of the following missiles. Okay, so it will be a Prithvi and at the same time Agni 1 and Agni 2. It will also enter service as a 2-stage solid propellant missile. So it is also having a 2-stage. Both stages will have composite rocket motors. And Agni P and Agni 5 originate from the Integrated Guided Missile Development Program launched by DRDO Chief Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam in the early 1980s. All right. So there is something important when we talk about Agni Prime. Okay. Then before we go to Prithvi, we have one Agni 6 SLBM, okay, and this is something important from again exam perspective. So this is not added in the in your slides, but let me just give you a brief idea about Agni 6. Okay, so please try to note it down in your notes. So Agni 6, when we talk about Agni 6, it is again a intercontinental ICBM, okay, intercontinental ballistic missile. And it is again developed by your DRDO, okay, and it is for use of the Indian Armed Forces. Okay, this is mainly for your Indian Armed Forces. Okay, and Agni 6 is expected to have multiple independently targeted. Again, the same thing. Okay, so Agni 6 will have the multiple independently targeted re-entry vehicle, and Agni 6 is also a submarine launched ballistic missile. Okay, so this is Agni 6 is also having the SLBM version. There is it can be also launched from your submarines. All right, and that is what the difference is basically about the Agni 6, and this is will arm the Arihant class submarines of the Indian Navy. Okay, so I'll also try to bring about the submarines in one class, and we have one Arihant class. Okay, Arihant class of Indian Navy vessels, and this Agni 6 or the SLBM submarine launched ballistic missiles will be put in the Arihant class of your Indian Navy. Okay, and this will be a submarine launched solid fuel missile with a maximum range of if you ask me, since this is Agni 6, you can know that this range will be more 6,000 kilometers. So this is a more advanced version of Agni 6. Okay, and this is also applicable in the Arihant version of Indian Navy vessels, and it can be also used as a submarine launched ballistic missile. So please try to be very thorough with this particular informations. All right. The next, moving ahead with the Prithvi, the earlier version, okay, and Prithvi missile can be divided into two, one Prithvi 1 and Prithvi 2. Now it will be replaced by the Agni Prime. Okay, so both Prithvi and Prithvi 2 are again surface to surface. Okay, it will launch from one surface and it will land on the another surface. All right, and this is indigenously developed again, and mainly developed by DRDO. It is a short-range ballistic missile. It is having a capable of carrying a warhead of 500 to 1000, but Agni is capable of carrying warheads of 1500. Okay, 1500 kilograms, and it uses advanced inertial guidance with maneuvering trajectory to hit its target. Dhanush is the naval variant of Prithvi, has also been tested recently. So as I told you about the Agni 6, about the naval variant, okay, where it can be launched from the submarines or vessels, right? So Prithvi ka jo naval version hai, that is known as your Dhanush. So please try to remember about the Dhanush missile separately, okay, that can be asked in the exam again. So it is again for the Indian Navy. Prithvi is again divided into two parts. It is Prithvi 1 and Prithvi 2. Okay, but it is not having a very long range. Okay, it is mainly having a maximum, you can see, from 40 kilometer to maximum of 150 kilometer. Prithvi 2 is having a maximum of 350 kilometer. Okay, now there is also one more version which was developed, and that is your Prithvi 3. Okay, and this Prithvi 3 was having, you can talk about like at least a maximum range of 600 kilometers. All right, and this is using a single stage liquid propellant twin engine, and again single stage liquid propellant twin engine. Agni is using what? Solid propellant, but Prithvi is using what? Liquid. So please try to be very clear with these informations. Sometimes in match the following or in the statement based questions you can get this particular informations, and this will help you to eliminate the options. So Prithvi is having the liquid propellant twin engine, but Agni is having the solid propellant. Okay, and but this are the single stages, but Agni is having both single as well as double stage propellant engines, right? So moving ahead with the another missile, that is about the Nag missile. Okay, so Nag is a third generation. Okay, it is a third generation fire and forget anti-tank guided missile developed by DRDO. Okay, so this is what anti-tank guide. So this is to destroy the tanks of the opponents. You fire and then you forget, and this is the third generation missile, and this missile is equipped with highly advanced imaging infrared radar seeker and has integrated avionics technology in its arsenal. Okay, so this is been using the radar technology, infrared radar technology, and this is mainly to destroy the tanks of your opponents. Nag can be launched from land, okay, and air-based platforms. Very important for you to know that this can be launched from surface, okay, and it can be also launched from air. Okay, so air se upar se niche marega, okay, to destroy the tanks, and surface se bhi it can fall on the surface again to destroy the tanks. So it is both surface to surface and air to surface. So please try to remember this information. And the land version is currently available for integration on a Nag missile carrier Namika. Okay, it is known as Namika, which is derived from the BMP-2 tracked infant combat vehicle. Okay, the helicopter launch configuration is designated as helicopter launch Nag, and which is known as Helena. Okay, so can be fired from Dhruv Advanced. Okay, so we have the Dhruv series of helicopters in India, and which is a like advanced light helicopter, and developed by Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. We have also a Rudra attack helicopter. So under Dhruv and Rudra, we can launch what? Helena. And Helena and Namika both are what? It is the Nag missile, which is to launch or destroy the tanks of the opponents. We can launch it from both surface as well as from both air. If you are launching from the air, it is mainly known as what? Helena. The land-based version has maximum range of 4 km, while air-based version has a maximum range of 7 km, because it is an anti-tank missile. Okay, so it is not having very strong amount of like long amount of distant capacity. All right, so after this we have another missile. Okay, and that is your Akash missile, and this is again developed by DRDO. It's a supersonic surface to air missile. Okay, so it is launched from surface to air. Okay, surface to air, and this was asked by APSC, I think, in 2016 prelims. And you simply see this, by the name itself you can predict, okay, that in Akash you are sending the missile from the surface to air, and this is nothing but your Akash missile, again developed by DRDO. Akash has a strike range of about 25 km, okay, not very long, and can carry a 55 kg warhead. It's designated to neutralize multiple aerial targets, attacking from several directions simultaneously, and the system is autonomous and its operation is fully automated. Okay, so please try to be very clear with the Akash missile. It is not having a very, sometimes in exam it can simply give that Akash is having a range of around 500 kilometer. Okay, so please don't get confused with this kind of false statements, right? But if they give around 25 to 30, then consider it to be right. Okay, it can have agar 25 है तो 30 तक भी चला जा सकता है. ठीक है? So this kilometers, if you convert to in meters, okay, you should also convert it to your meters. Okay, this kilometers and then into meters or feet. कभी वो statement change करके they can give you in terms of feet or meter unit also. Then you shouldn't get confused. Then we have then another important one, and that is your Trishul. It is again developed by DRDO. It's a quick reaction surface to air missile. Again Trishul. So Trishul is also looking like this, right? Trishul is looking like this. So again it is pointing towards the sky. So it is again a surface to air missile, and it can be used as an anti-sea skimmer from ship against low flying attacking missiles. Okay, so mainly it is used to attack the low flying attacking missiles, okay, launched by the opponent countries, and it is mainly launched from the sea and it employs dual thrust propulsion stage using high energy solid propellant. Trishul, with its quickest reaction time, high frequency operation are having high maneuverability, high lethal capability, and multiple roles for 3 services. Okay, so all the 3 services, that is your Navy, Army, and Air Force. And high maneuverability means it is having a high mobility along with high accuracy, and definitely it can destroy the opponent's missiles, attacking missiles or tanks or whatever, or flying objects, whatever they use. So you should be remembering about the Trishul. We have discussed about Akash, about the Nag. Okay, so these are very important ones. Then we have the recent missile test that we need to know again. But before we move ahead to this, let's first talk about one more that we have left out. It is about the Sagarika missile. Okay, so please be comfortable with this missile also. About the Sagarika missile, and this is a nuclear capable submarine launched ballistic missile with a range of 750 kilometers. Okay, so please see this, that Sagarika is related to what? With your S is for Sagarika, S is for submarine. So this is mainly used for the submarine launched ballistic missile. Okay, and this is mainly called as your Sagarika missile, and this is again used in the Arihant class submarines. Okay, next we have the important one about let me just check out if I have the Rustom in my slides. Yes, we do have the Rustom. Okay, and all right. So please note down about the Sagarika missile. That is a very important one. After that, we can talk about the Shaurya missile. Okay, we can talk about one more. That is about your Shaurya missile, and this Shaurya missile is a hypersonic one. Okay, Sagarika mainly I told you it is mainly a submarine ballistic missile. Okay, which is mainly used in the submarines. Shaurya is a hypersonic, but it is again surface to surface. Okay, S to S. So please note it down. It is surface to surface tactical missile, and it is having a range from 750 to 1900 kilometer. Okay, which is known as Shaurya. All right, so I hope you will remember this. Shaurya, Sagarika are very, very important for you to know. After that, we have a Rustom, and this we will talk about sometime later. Then we have the BrahMos. Okay, that BrahMos was recently tested from Andaman Islands. The land-to-land configuration. BrahMos is also a surface to surface. Okay, but BrahMos can be also launched from air to surface. Okay, and this is the configuration of BrahMos Block 3 missile was launched from a mobile autonomous launcher for its full range testing in the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. About the missile, BrahMos, we know BrahMos is coming from the, if we divide it, Brah comes from the river named Brahmaputra, and Mos comes from the capital Moscow of, or the Moskva rivers, okay, of Russia. And based on the name of the 2 rivers, Brahmaputra and Moskva rivers, okay, we have developed with a joint venture and collaboration between India and Russia. And the first stage of the system takes the missile to supersonic speed, and the second stage with liquid ramjet accelerates it to 2.8 Mach. Okay, so BrahMos is an air-launched cruise missile. Okay, BrahMos, as I told you, it is also launched from the air, and from the air it can go and attack any opponent's object, whether it is on the air or in fact even in the surface. Okay, so it will be launched from the air, not from surface. Okay, so it is the heaviest weapon to be developed on India's Sukhoi 30. Okay, so mainly we know about our aircraft of Sukhoi 30, and it is being used. BrahMos is mainly air-launched cruise missile, and it is used in the India Sukhoi 30. So BrahMos is a very important missile of India that developed under the joint venture of India and Russia, which is a very important part for us to know. Okay, it is having a ramjet supersonic cruise missile that can be launched from submarines, ships, aircraft, or land. Okay, that is what I told you. So BrahMos can be launched from anywhere, whether from the aircraft or from the land or from the submarines. Okay, so it can be launched from any of the particular like versions, whether from the air or from the land or for the submarine. So please be very clear with this. All right, and about the range is 290 kilometers. Okay, and it is 290 kilometer range. Okay, so its range is not very high, but at the same time it is a very efficient and accurate missile of India, jointly developed with Russia. Okay, so moving ahead, the significance you will see here with this test launch, India becomes the first country to have the capability to have a multi-platform weapon. Okay, and that is why it is known as a multi-platform weapon, because it can be launched from various platforms, whether from the sea, that is submarine, or land or air. Okay, so it is India becomes the first country to have this capability to have a multi-platform weapon. It can be used for multi-mission roles, including precision strikes on terror camps across the border, as well as against high value naval targets in the Indian Ocean. Okay, and India, after India became a member of the MTCR, this is very important, in 2016, Missile Technology Control Regime, and Russia are now planning to jointly develop a new generation of BrahMos missile with 600 kilometer plus range. Okay, because if you're not a member of MTCR, you cannot develop a missile of a range of more than 300 kilometers, and that is why initially when BrahMos was developed, it was kept the range, maximum range of 290 kilometers. But after signing this, now we can develop, we are going to develop a BrahMos missile of more than 600 kilometers. Then it talks about a ramjet engine. Okay, and ramjet engine does not have any turbines, unlike the turbojet engines. It achieves compression of intake air just by the forward speed of the air vehicle. Okay, and if we talk about the scramjet engine, okay, so what happens in the ramjet engine actually? Okay, it does not need the oxygen or the air, okay, in a separate in a turbine which can be carried, which is attached to the missile. All right, it takes in the oxygen from the atmosphere. Okay, and that is why the weightage, okay, the weight of this particular missile reduces down, and its accuracy and efficiency increases more. Okay, so that is the technology of ramjet, where it is, you can see here that it achieves the compression of intake air, okay, just by the forward speed of the air vehicle. All right, so if we talk about a scramjet engine, the first experiment towards the realization of an air breathing propulsion. So you take the air from the atmosphere, and you don't have to carry extra oxygen cylinders, okay, or air cylinders to, or whatever they are using, okay, whether they are whatever air they are using, whether it is hydrogen or oxygen. So they don't have to take it in an extra mode from the, in the mode of carrying extra vessels, but they can just take it from the atmosphere, and that is how the efficiency of these missiles increases, because their weight or the volume is reduced, because the air, whether it is hydrogen or oxygen, is actually taken in from the atmosphere itself. All right, so I hope you have understood this. And this air breathing propulsion system in scramjet engine was conducted in 2016. So the scramjet engine and the ramjet engine becomes really important for you to know. And fire and forget, okay, we saw a term called as fire and forget. So it means the missile guidance does not require further guidance after the launch, and still hit the target without the launcher being in line of sight of the target. Okay, so you have a launcher and you have the missile on top of it. Okay, so once it is launched, then this is separated, and the missile you fire and then you forget this, okay, and this will find its own its target on its own, and that is why it is also known as a cruise missile, okay. It can go like this, like this, like this, but if this is the target, it will fall ultimately on this target, okay. It can take any paths. All right, so that is a benefit again. Then we have one more, that is your Nirbhay subsonic cruise missile, and this was recently successfully tested by our DRDO, and which tested the Nirbhay missile, okay. So this Nirbhay is India's first indigenous long-range subsonic cruise missile, okay. These are all cruise missiles because we know about the Agni and everything, they are ballistic missiles, okay. So this is the first indigenous, because you know that BrahMos was also a short range, okay, but Nirbhay is actually the long range subsonic cruise missile. Subsonic, you understand that it is traveling at a speed lesser than the speed of the sound, and it can carry a warhead of 200 kg to 300 kg. This is important, sometimes this can be asked, and the speed is less 0.6 to 0.7 Mach with a launch weight of about 1500 kilogram. It can avoid detection as it has ability to cruise at heights as low as 100 meter, okay. So it is cruising at just a height of 100 meter from the ground level, okay. So it may not fall under the detection of radar of other countries, okay. So this is why it is a very, very important missile. It can just go and enter any country without even getting detected by the radar of different countries. It is powered by a solid rocket motor booster and has a range of 1000 km. The successful development would provide a definite boost to armed forces, indigenous defense industry, and India's capability to design and develop lethal weapons of strategic importance. With the successful launch of Nirbhay, India joins a select league of nations that possess the ability to make subsonic cruise missiles. Again, a very, very important development. Okay, next we have the Astra missiles. Okay, now again a very important, and you see here that it talks about the Astra missile. It is the final development flight trials of Astra beyond visual range air to air missile, okay. So Astra is mainly air to air, okay. So please be very comfortable with this. I've discussed all the missiles versions, okay, which one is surface to air, which one is surface to surface, or which one is air to surface, or which one is air to air, okay. Surface to air, we talked about Trishul and Akash, but now we are talking about Astra missile, which is air to air, okay. So this is mainly, suppose from one aircraft it is launched and it can destroy another aircraft of an opponent, okay. So this missile has been again developed by DRDO and together with Indian Air Force. It is an all-weather weapons system. It can be used in any weather, okay, and target can be as long as 60 to 70 kilometer far away. In a typical Astra engagement, both the launcher and the target move at a speed in excess of 1000 km per hour, okay, very high speed. But indigenously development of Astra missiles will provide major business opportunities for Indian players. Again, it can be developed under Make in India program, okay. So this is definitely boosting the manufacturing sector and ultimately boosting up the GDP of the country, okay. So apart from that, if we talk about some of the air defense systems, we have some advanced MRSAM, okay, and MRSAM means medium range surface to air missiles, okay. So about this, Indian Army has signed a MOU with DRDO, okay. So Indian Army has signed for the medium range surface to air missiles, all right. Surface to air missiles, we have seen examples of Akash, okay. We have also seen examples of Trishul, okay. Those are also surface to air missiles. So this is having a MOU between DRDO and Indian Army, and it is an advanced all-weather mobile land-based air defense system, okay. It is capable of engaging multiple aerial targets, okay. From one launch it can go and destroy multiple aerial targets at the same time, okay. For example, like the Iron Dome recently published, showed by the country of Israel, okay. The Iron Dome, the anti airstrike missile that we have seen, that some of the videos had went viral, right. So the system will be jointly, you see, now this system will be developed jointly by Israel and DRDO, again a very, very important one, and again to give boost to the Make in India initiative. It will be developed in India. And the MR medium range surface to air missile is a land based variant of the long range surface to air missile, or Barak 8 naval air defense system. Barak 8 was also jointly developed by Israel. Okay, so we have a Barak 8 missile system, okay, which is a long range surface to air missile. Okay, so this is again an air defense system. आपका एयर में वो डिफेंड करेंगे, okay, anything that strike or the aeroplane or the aircraft of the opponent countries. But Barak 8, please try to remember, Barak 8 is a long range, okay, and it was again jointly developed with Israel. So this is a very, very important one. And then recently tested missiles, we have one called as Maitri, very important. This is also a QRSAM, okay, being developed by DRDO, but it is developed with the help of France. And we have one called as Spider, surface to air Python and Derby missile system. Is a low level QRSAM 15-kilometer range developed by Israel's Rafale advanced defense system, and it is to be deployed on Pakistan border. Okay, so Maitri and Spider, please try to have a look at it. One developed with France, okay, and Spider developed with the help of Israel. Okay, now these are all surface to air missiles. Okay, so this is air defense system. Okay, whatever is there in air, whether aircraft or missiles, okay, from the surface you can defend them, okay, from like this, like the Iron Dome recently shown in Israel. After that, if we talk about the endo-atmospheric interceptor missile, okay, this was also recently India has tested successfully, and it is an indigenously developed advanced air defense supersonic interceptor missile. Okay, so again similar to the Iron Dome of Israel. So this is endo-atmospheric interceptor, atmosphere में ही उसको defend करेंगे. An advanced area defense interceptor missile. It is an indigenously developed single-stage missile powered by solid propellant. This interceptor missile has a navigation system, mobile, obviously navigation system to होना ही पड़ेगा because to navigate, and mobile launcher, secure data link for interception. Okay, and the missile is capable of destroying incoming ballistic. अगर कोई देश हम लोगों के देश में ballistic missile गिराते हैं तो with a low altitude within 30 kilometer of the Earth's atmosphere, this advanced air defense can intercept those ballistic missiles coming into India and can destroy it in the atmosphere itself. Okay, then we have a ballistic missile defense system program. It is developed by DRDO. Okay, so whatever ballistic missiles are coming, we have to destroy it in the atmosphere, as shown by Israel recently. And it is also, we are also having this system. And India has developed a functional Iron Dome ballistic missile, okay, which comprise of both endo and exo atmospheric missiles. So endo means within the atmosphere you will destroy it, and exo Okay, there must be a problem with the sound. I think I'm audible right now. All right, all right. There was some problem with the sound setup. I think this is from last 6 to 7 minutes, right? Okay. Okay. So now I hope it's audible and we can move ahead. I'll repeat it. I'll repeat the part that that you have missed it. Okay. Okay. So after QRSAM, there was no sound. All right. So I'll repeat from there. Okay. I think last 6 to 7 minutes there was no sound. In fact, I was not checking the comment section. Extremely sorry for that. There were some phone calls coming in my phone, so I had to switch off the thing and I was not able to see the. Thank you, Edwin. You made the call, and that is why I checked it out. All right. Okay. I think the last topic that you heard was QRSAM, right? Because someone has given a comment here. Okay, so let me go back to the slide. Okay, so did you hear till this part, air defense systems? Did you hear till air defense systems? If you have heard till air defense systems, please let me know. We were talking about the defense systems in the air. Okay, we talked about the recently tested by DRDO and the MRSAM. Okay, so we didn't miss much of the topics. So about the air defense system, we'll start from here again. Okay, so I hope you have heard it till. I hope you have heard it till the Astra missile. Okay, Priyanka, I think Lena, I think you have heard till Astra missile, right? I think you have heard till Astra missile. I think you have heard till this one. There should not be any problem there. Now let's move ahead. Okay, thank you. Let's move ahead with the air defense systems. Okay, so we have this air defense system is similar to what you saw in the form of Iron Dome recently in Israel. Okay, the Iron Dome technology that we saw in the videos had gone viral, and this Indian Army has signed. The Indian Army has signed a MOU with DRDO to develop the medium-range surface-to-air missiles. Okay, so this is surface to air. Okay, so from surface it will destroy the enemy's missile or aircraft which will be present in the air. So this is a medium range surface to air missile, and it is a all weather. In any kinds of weather it can operate and function, and this is a land based air defense system. It is capable of engaging multiple aerial targets, okay, at the range of more than 50 kilometers, and it has been jointly developed by Israel and DRDO. ठीक है, तो इससे मेक इन इंडिया भी बूस्ट अप होगा. But since this is a medium range, but India is already having a long range surface to air missile for an air defense system. So you understand, air में defend करेंगे. Okay, and that is in the long range we have the Barak 8 naval air defense system, and Barak 8 was also jointly developed with Israel. Right? So please know this. This is very important. Recently आप लोगों को ये वीडियो सबने देखा होगा, इजराइल और पैलेस्टीन के वार में इजराइल was using its Iron Dome facility to destroy all the missiles sent from Palestine in the air itself. ठीक है, तो वही सिमिलर चीज इंडिया के पास भी है. इंडिया ने भी jointly बनाया है with Israel, and recently though मिसाइल टेस्ट किया था, एक है माइट्री एंड द सेकेंड वन इज स्पाइडर. So please remember Maitri is quick QRSAM, and QRSAM means quick response surface to air missile. Okay, surface से भेजेगा मिसाइल, एयर में डिस्ट्रॉय करेगा ओपोनेंट का मिसाइल्स को, and it is having a quick response facility, and it is developed by DRDO with the help of France, and that is known as your Maitri. And Spider is surface to air Python and Derby missile system. It is a low level QRSAM, 15 kilometer range. थोड़ा सा छोटा है ये. Developed by Israel's Rafale Advanced Defense System and is deployed on Pakistan border. ठीक है? So Maitri, France, and Spider, Israel. Please try to remember this. It is a quick response surface to air missile. Okay? Then we have endo-atmospheric interceptile missile. Endo-atmospheric, it means within the atmosphere. Endo means inside, exo means outside, right? You know that. And it is an advanced air-defined supersonic interceptor. Interceptor means it will intercept the incoming threat or the missiles from enemy countries. And we have that, and we have this advanced air defense interceptor missile. Okay. And it can destroy any incoming ballistic missile at a low altitude within 30 kilometers of Earth's atmosphere. So you see 30 kilometers of Earth's atmosphere, and that is why we call it as endo. Okay, so it is getting destroyed within the Earth's atmosphere. And then we have a ballistic missile defense system. Any ballistic missile coming from enemy country can be also destroyed. Okay, and that is like the Iron Dome ballistic missile that was visible in the Israel concept, and it comprises both endo as well as exo. Kabhi kabhi ballistic missile is so powerful, if it is sent from a high long range, okay, so once you launch the missile from a particular country, it can go and cross the atmosphere, go into the space, and again come back in a projectile motion, and it can be destroyed in the exo, that is outside the atmosphere also. Okay, we have a Prithvi defense vehicle for exo-atmospheric ranges, right? And we have advanced air defense, that is Ashwin. ठीक है, नाम याद कर लेना, ये अश्विन वाला है एंडो एटमोस्फेयर के अंदर, और पृथ्वी डिफेंस व्हीकल हो गया बाहर का. इंडिया इज अ फिफ्थ नेशन. ओके, सबके पास ये नहीं है. इंडिया इज अ फिफ्थ नेशन. दिस काइंड ऑफ स्टेटमेंट्स आर आस्क्ड इन द एग्जाम, मेनली इन यूपीएससी. एपीएससी में पूछा जा सकता है. और ये बैलिस्टिक मिसाइल डिफेंस सिस्टम बाकी यूएस में है, रशिया में है, इजराइल में तो हम लोगों ने देख ही लिया है, और चाइना में भी है, और इंडिया के पास भी है, लेकिन पाकिस्तान के पास नहीं है. दैट्स अ गुड थिंग. Okay, so I already told you what is QRSM, quick reaction surface to air missile. ठीक है, इसका it can destroy multiple targets. एक लॉन्च होगा, लेकिन एक लॉन्च से मल्टीपल डिफेंस करने का सिस्टम निकल जाएगा. ठीक है, and it can defend many number of incoming threats. It can also deceive Okay, so it should be fine now. Again, it should be fine. No, it should be fine. Okay, take it. Just wait for 5 seconds. The sound will be back. The sound will be back. Don't worry. So let's move ahead. I was talking about the QRSAM missile. Okay, I was talking about a QRSAM missile, and here we talked about the quick response surface to air missile. ठीक है, let me just go back to the slide where we had left. Okay, we were talking about the surveillance technologies. ठीक है, तो surveillance technologies are mainly for what? It is mainly to do the surveillance of any incoming threat from any other particular country. Okay, and Netra is one of it. So you need to know what is Netra. It is a first time meet air to air. Okay, यहाँ पे क्या होता है, Netra को actually अगर surveillance कर रहे हो आप तो उसको काफी देर तक स्काई में रहना चाहिए, राइट? तो स्काई में रखने के लिए रिफ्यूलिंग भी करना पड़ेगा, और नेट्रा में रिसेंटली फर्स्ट टाइम मिड एयर में एयर टू एयर रिफ्यूलिंग किया गया था, एंड इट वाज इन न्यूज. Okay, it is mainly used for surveillance. Significance है air to air refueling allows the aircraft to stay for a long time in the sky. ठीक है, so नेट्रा के बारे में आप यहाँ पे देख सकते हो. We have this AWACS setup. Okay, नेट्रा इज AWACS जो है वो इसराइल सिस्टम का है. ठीक है, फैल्कन AWACS. AWACS is mainly airborne warning and control system to look after the threats and do the surveillance. और नेट्रा है इंडिजिनियस, इंडिया ने खुद बनाया इसको. ठीक है, it is mainly again developed by DRDO and it is mounted on Brazilian Embraer 145. ठीक है, and India is the fourth such nation. Very good news that only ऐसा सिस्टम US, रशिया, इजराइल के पास है, बाकी देश में इनफैक्ट चाइना के पास भी नहीं है. मतलब है, लेकिन ये टेक्नोलॉजी हम लोगों ने खुद भी बनाया है इसको. Okay, I don't know what is wrong with the sound right now. No, the sound is working fine again. Okay, so I think Lena, your net is slow, so it is reaching to you a bit delayed. Okay, but the sound should be working fine now. Okay, so we are talking about the Netra missile, and it is for the surveillance technology. And इसका ही इजराइल से जो लिया है, that is your Falcon AWACS. Okay, that is AWACS means airborne warning and control system that you need to know. After that, इंडिया ने खुद से बनाया है, that is your Netra. लेकिन Netra का जो range है and the degree of coverage है, that is less as compared to the Falcon AWACS. Falcon AWACS has a range of 400 km and 360-degree coverage. All right, but Netra, that is developed by India, is having a less range and less degree coverage. All right. So please see this carefully. Just give me 1 second. All right. So about the important features of Netra, you can see its range is lesser as compared to the Falcon AWACS, and that is something that you need to know. Moving ahead to the next surveillance setup, that is our Rustam 2. It is a drone, and it was recently successfully tested by DRDO. Okay, so you can look at this Rustam. Let me just check it once again, the sound. Yes, it is working fine. So this Rustam is basically about the surveillance mechanism. All right, and this is a medium altitude range endurance drone. Okay, so this is a medium altitude long endurance drone, that is in short form you can say as MAIL, and designed and developed by Aeronautical Development Establishment of DRDO, Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, and Bharat Electronics Limited. So three particular organizations have developed this. Okay, it is also carrying a variety of payloads, electronic intelligence, synthetic aperture radar. Okay, and along with that COMIT, that is communication intelligence, situational awareness payloads and everything. It will be used by all three services of Indian Armed Forces, okay, both Indian Army, Indian Navy, and Indian Air Force, for primarily for intelligence. You understand? Drone ऊपर ये उड़ता रहेगा, and if anything incoming threats you see, then it can be immediately reported. Rustom 2 can fly missions on manual as well as autonomous modes. A very, very important fact that you should know. More about drones, you can just give a reading of this. Okay. There are various unmanned aerial vehicles in India. Okay, so unmanned aerial vehicles mean like there is no person in it, no human beings. Okay, and some of the examples are Nishant, Panchi, Lakshya, and Daksh. Okay, so please try to remember these names. These are all unmanned aerial vehicles. Okay, and they have been put under some regulations. So this Department of Director General of Civil Aviation has released the civil aviation requirements. All right, this is mainly required for the operation of civil remotely piloted aircraft system, RPAS, which are commonly called as drones in India. Okay, because this can be piloted, but again you are on the land and this will be flying in the sky. Okay, so यहाँ पे कुछ regulations भी आए हैं and provisions under regulation. You see here the DCG has divided the drones into 5 categories. ठीक है, based on their maximum takeoff weight. And nano है अगर 250 ग्राम से नीचे है, micro if it is greater than 250 grams. So one question that you can expect in the exam, that the drones have been classified on the basis of what? Okay, on the basis of range or weight, okay, or on the basis of accuracy, or on the basis of resolution. So it is mainly based on kilogram. So large drones will be considered which is greater than 150 kg. And a unique identification number and radio frequency tags have been put forward for all drones. Otherwise misuse हो सकता है drones का बहुत ज़्यादा. ठीक है, exemptions drones जो nano category में है 250 ग्राम से नीचे, category weighing up to 250 grams, and those operated by government agencies would not require any permit. So अगर आप 250 kg से ज़्यादा किलोग्राम के ड्रोन उड़ा रहे हो आज की डेट में, you will need permit from this department. ठीक है, and pilot, the remote pilot for any drone must be at least 18 years old and has to go through a prescribed training process. Okay, so this is very, very important as of now if you are using a drone. There are also certain no drones zone, and drones are barred from being operated within 5 kilometers of an airport. गलती से भी एयरपोर्ट के आसपास ड्रोन मत उड़ाना. Okay, नहीं तो पुलिस पकड़ के ले जाएंगे. You will be seriously arrested because this is hampering the threat. Okay, and this is putting a challenge on the threat and security issues of a country, and within 50 kilometers from international border. This is a very serious situation. आसपास 50 किलोमीटर एक रेंज के इंटरनेशनल बॉर्डर में आप ड्रोन नहीं उड़ा सकते, एंड बियॉन्ड 500 मीटर इनटू सी अलोंग द कोस्ट लाइन. सो कोस्ट लाइन में आप बीच में जाके, ओके, समुद्र के बीच में जाके यू कैन नॉट फ्लाई अ ड्रोन देयर. Drones would not be allowed within 5 kilometer radius from Vijay Chowk in national capital, okay, in Delhi. Over eco-sensitive zones, जैसे national park हो गया, wildlife sanctuaries हो गया, okay, from a mobile platform such as moving vehicles, ship or aircraft. So यहाँ, ठीक है, यहाँ पे आप 5 किलोमीटर रेडियस में ड्रोन्स नहीं उड़ा सकते हो. ड्यू परमिशंस, अगर आपको उड़ाना है तो आपको परमिशन लेना पड़ेगा. ठीक है, एंड पेनल्टीज नहीं तो देयर विल बी पेनल्टीज अगेंस्ट यू. Alright, so this is what we had seen a lot, and after this we have some joint exercise to cover. Okay, so there are some military exercises between India and other countries. Alright, now but this will be covered by us in the next class. Okay, so ये जो joint exercises है between, but you will already receive this PPT and you can go through it, but we will discuss it out in the next class along with the important satellites in the space missions and important days, national, state and international days throughout the 12 months of a year. So these are some of the important topics that we'll discuss in the upcoming time period, tomorrow, day after tomorrow. All right, so I'm really sorry for some of the inconvenience created today for the sound problem. Okay, this is like an automatic problem that comes out in the browser. The browser suddenly automatically mutes the microphone. Not very clear why this problem is happening. If any one of you can help me out with this, you can WhatsApp me or you can post in the comment section what needs to be done. But I will also check in the internet if there is any permanent solution for this particular problem. All right. So that was what we had to discuss from today's perspective. I hope you enjoyed the content and the session. We have tried to discuss in details about the important operations from the defense perspective and the security perspective, and we have also talked about the important missile systems of India. We also need to talk about the space missions and the satellites. Okay, the first satellite launched by India and everything, we'll discuss it out. And at the same time, we'll also talk about the important exercises of India and with other nations. So please keep studying hard. Okay, take care of yourself, and let's meet in the next class. Thank you and good night, everyone.